that is 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. And we discuss about the current affairs. More especially, we focus more on what is making news across the entire country. And of course, we take our hands to the political climate, the economics of the country, infrastructure, education, to mention but a few. Just like we had promised you in our previous comments, if you follow our social media platforms, that is Record TV Uganda on Facebook, Record TV Uganda on Twitter, YouTube, and everywhere. But we had told you, we are going to be having Honorable Robert Chagwen Sentamu, the Chad Dondo legislator. Many of you call him Bobi Wine, and I too call him Bobi Wine. And ladies and gentlemen, now I take the honor and privilege to tell you that the Honorable is in the studio right away. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you, Mordecai, and good evening, viewers. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to be with you today.
You come at a time when actually now I would say majority of people that are watching are youth, and you've been sending a message to the youth how they hold this power. Which message, what would you start with?
Well, given the opportunity, I'll just repeat what I've been saying all along, that it's actually your power, you know. You have it. Maybe well knowing that the majority have gotten the message and have responded to us with the question, okay, now if we have the power, what must we do? And that's why we're graduating to the next level, telling them, okay, now that you know it's your power, you need to exercise it, not by throwing stones, not by causing chaos, but register, get a voter's card, and wait for any opportunity, but prepare yourself for that opportunity.
At one time I had a conversation with DP spokesperson, Kakande Kenneth Paul, and he said 2021, it is just a template. We do not expect anything from that. We know it is just a template, and actually the results are actually out, so there's nothing like elections.
Well, that's his opinion, and I respect differing opinions. I, however, hold a different opinion. I know that for a long time we've been disconnected, myself inclusive, been disconnected from how our country is run, from the interest to about what goes on in our country and how we can possibly make it better. But you've seen through the recent years that young people have gotten involved. For a long time they were saying young people don't vote. But now you've seen young people getting involved in elections. Not only the young people, I'm only capitalizing on young people because they're the majority and the future is robust for them. So I believe that well sensitized, these millions of people that we are can be turned into something formidable for the country. And that's exactly what we are doing. We're not just going to talk about it. We are actually calling upon people to put it in practice.
Talking of these young people, registering for the national ID and others speaking them, there's a lot of things. Actually, you mentioned it about when you say that Mr. Museveni has been defeated for a number of times, and you actually believe that he lost the last elections in 2016.
Yeah.
That's what you say. Yeah. So if you say so, and we are...
That's not what I say, but I believe those who say so.
All right. If it is believed that it is true, well, 2021 is coming. What are you trying to say that, you know, this time around, he will be defeated and we'll have to go?
First and foremost, we have to begin by learning from the failures of the past. How did the vote win President Museveni, but again, he retained power? You realize that as leaders, I would say I'm a leader now, so I'll put myself among them, but I'd say leaders were calling upon people to go to the polls, but not calling upon people to actually kwebereram. What I mean kwebereram is to take charge as them, you understand? And now that's what I tell people, don't look at Bobi Wine as your solution. Go to the polls, vote, guard the vote. That's what we did in Chadondo. That's what we called for in Bujiri, Jinja, Arua. All these people, all these places were peaceful, save for the violence that was perpetuated by the state. So that's exactly what we call upon people to do. And yes, call upon other people to join in and offer not just the physical or financial help, but even ideological support so that we can put our heads together. It all does not belong to me. I mean, it all does not depend on me. But the more we put our minds together, each one comes with an idea. We have 2 full years to go. In those years, we can choose two things, either to cry and decry of the polls that are always reached, or to plan for all the irregularities that have always been taking place over the years, and, you know, solve that problem once and for all.
You seem to be communicating to a cowardice or to cowards, because when you say go vote and guard, this is the message Mr. Besigye has been spreading. Please, after voting, do not just leave the polling station. Stay there and get your gun. But then, now what is the, which kind of them are you talking about when you say Okweberidam? In which sense?
This is what I'm talking about, yeah? It has never happened when we have so many young people and they are called upon to take it upon themselves as a generational responsibility. It has never happened. That is what we are doing. There has never been, you know, a call by common people. I don't classify myself as you know, a politician. I have so much respect for politicians, but I know that it is also a factor that has been keeping away people, them thinking, oh, politicians will solve that. It has never, you know, happened when all Ugandans from various walks of life are being called upon to embrace a struggle, and there has never been as ample time as there is now. So all these factors put together, I am very convinced that we're going to get this change, and we will not give any excuse for failing, because everything is on our side. I've never seen so many young people speaking with one voice. I've never seen it. And yet I'm not a kid.
Now these young people, actually, when you look at the population of Uganda, 77% are youths. And they're saying, we want Bobi Wine to have the flag. Are you ready to take on the flag as their president?
First and foremost, that question has been asked many times. Many ask it because they have questions on their mind. And yes, many ask it as a diversionary question. I've said it before and I'll say it again, that it's not about me. And yes, it's not about the presidency, especially if we are still faced with this same kind of presidency, which is, you know, carved in a godly aura, you know. However, we consider that we have various talents, myself inclusive. You know, we keep coming together and we keep calling upon various comrades in the struggle to come together so we can solve the problem together. I am not shying away from responsibility. If defeating President Museveni calls for my involvement in a particular way, I am not shying away from that. But again, I want you to know that it's not about me, you understand? It's about very many qualified men and women out there. So this, like one of our elders, Kibiriga Mayanja, put it clearly, the solution to Uganda is a unified effort, you know, it's teamwork, not just one person. So I always be glad if we don't put it around the presidency like we've been spoiled. Yeah,
to whoever that is watching, I will let you know, Honorable is here for just a few minutes. That is because he has other engagements, and of course we understand that he's going to be leaving us. But then we have some really burning questions. Before we let him go, I really want to read some of the comments, actually, people posted on our Facebook page. This one says, yes, Mordecai. My question is, if the Almighty allows him to sit in the chair, what's that thing that is going to work upon first for us not to lose hope in him? Because they see you as a president now. That is what I told you. Another person is saying, the time is now. Is he ready for the first chair? Actually, it is becoming almost the dominant question here. When he is to run, another person, when he is to run for presidency, can he teach his supporters to support him in silence? Like me, to avoid serious beatings from Banyaru, then I do not understand. Let then avoid processions. There's something that is happening. You now have a beret, and you are allowed, probably, you could be having that privilege. But there's an incident that happened of recent when Ugandans were supporting the march of Uganda Cranes and they were snatched by security officers. Besides that, there's a warning. There's been a warning. Uganda Cranes is going to be playing Cape Verde. I'm sorry. But then there's been a warning, do not put on political clothing. And when they say so, our minds run to the beret, our minds run to yellow or blue.
First of all, that act of grabbing people's hats of their heads by police was appalling when I saw it. You know, it's shocking how degenerated our men and women in uniform could be. We condemn it. It must stop, and it will stop.
When you talk about condemning, you remind me of Enanga, former police officer, who would actually call a press conference when something bad has happened. It's like, as the police force, we condemn it, and we understand that it will stop. But over and over time, we've had a lot of incidences happening.
Yeah, I'm a different person telling you that it has to stop, and it will stop. And those are some of the things that make us struggle every day.
Why are you getting all this energy? It will have to stop. It has to stop.
Yes, because that's what the law says. The law provides for our policemen and women to respect citizens, to protect and serve the citizens, and to dignify the citizens. And that is what it has to be. It should be. You understand? Our law does not provide for impunity. So if you see an officer of the law abusing the law, you've got to condemn it. And yes, you've got to work hard to make sure it stops.
We're running out of time. At one time you compared President Museveni to Idi Amin Dada.
Yeah?
Don't you think that was very evil? Very bad, if I may say.
Very bad? To compare two bad things?
Oh, so you don't see a difference between Mr. Museveni and Idi Amin Dada?
Of course there's a difference. There's no. There's a difference in the times. Amin was a dictator for 8 years. Museveni is for 32 years and counting. Okay? Amin could be understood that he was illiterate, you know. President Museveni is very learned, very traveled. To see him condoning that, you know, it's disappointing. You've seen how people are being brutally arrested on the street. Things, I was not there to witness what Amin did. I've been around to see what the Museveni regime has done, including on me, myself. So when I talk about this, I know what I'm talking about. You understand? I know what I'm talking about.
But then when you use that kind of vigor and energy, you seem to be, you know, not to mind about what might happen. Others are so scared to say what you're saying, you know, comparing Mr. Museveni to Idi Amin Dada.
Now you see, now that's where we get it wrong. Yeah? When the law provides for free speech, when it provides for freedom of expression and you're scared, what are you scared for? What are you scared of? Illegality? You've seen many people, you know, oppressed, brutalized, or even killed for not saying a word. I mean, what I'm saying is not illegal. I am not telling no lie. You know, I'm only speaking out for myself and many people who are like me. And I'm not inciting any violence. I'm only saying, you know, extrajudicial killings are illegal. They are wrong and they should be condemned. I'm only saying brutality and torture, state-inspired torture is wrong. I'm only saying vote rigging is wrong. You see, when you try to tell me that I should be scared to say what is right, you know, you bring questions to my mind.
Well, thank you so much for keeping your eyes on Rico TV. Yeah. Now we are going to take a short commercial break. I told you the Honorable is just here for a few minutes. So just allow me to take a short commercial break. When we return, the Honorable will come and of course will say goodbye to us. But we truly appreciate you so much for keeping your eyes on Rico TV. It is the People's Agenda Show. Yes, thank you so much for keeping your eyes on Rico TV. I remind you, please go and follow us on our social media platforms. That is Facebook, Rico TV Uganda. We are streaming live, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Rico TV Uganda, and Twitter, Instagram as well, Rico TV Uganda. And now, just like I always tell you, we are situated in Kamocha, Plot 47, Chila Road, Kampala, Uganda. It is defined as the headquarters of the fire base. That is what it is known for. And now, like I told you, we have the chairman and the president, or the ghetto president. Someone told me we have 3 presidents in Uganda. One is called President of Uganda, another one is People's President, and Ghetto President. Yeah, that's what.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, talking of Charenga.
Man, actually I want to take this opportunity to yet again thank our fans out there for supporting us. Man, it was indeed jarring. It was so much fun. We thank the police for not stopping the show, cooperating with us. This was evidence that we can work together without having to fight, especially if we all decide to follow the law, if we all decide to do our work, if we respect each other. I must salute the men and women in uniform that observed security at One Love Beach. It was great, no single phone stolen, no single person beaten, no single chaos save for those isolated cases outside the beach. So it was good, and we had our music, and we enjoyed ourselves, and people peacefully expressed themselves. So I thank everybody that made it possible, but above all, I thank God for giving us good weather, for giving us life. It was good. I thank you guys. Yeah, and of course we continue to look forward to bigger, plans. We are going to take Chalenga, to other parts of the country, to enjoy.
The last thing would be as we say goodbye to you, there seems to be a lot of division in the opposition. As we settle probably to look at a certain direction, then other people are actually saying, "No, I'm not starting with these people." Let me give you an example of as we had a lot of what we would call organization in the FDC, then the new formation. Then another time you'll hear this one is in a mall in a certain party. Don't you think they should come together probably to claim this power that they're talking about and taking away the regime?
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that always wants to look at the positive, not the negative. Yes, I know various people have their challenges, but I know they also have their own resourcefulness in various ways. So, cognizant of the fact that there has been some divisions, not just in the FDC, but in various opposition parties and formations. However, like I said before, my interest is to work with everybody, because if somebody is working for the liberation of this country, no matter which way they're working, is, an ally. So it's a question of looking at what everybody brings on the table to see that we can put our efforts together to liberate this country, because I've said it time and again that I don't believe that any one of us can liberate the country alone, but the more we come together, regardless of our, personal differences, I believe, it is still workable. So I continue to engage various, forces of change.
Lastly, comment about the dialogue. Others are calling it just spending money, and there's nothing big that is coming out of the dialogue, quoting the president's words when he said, we can negotiate or have a conversation with the opposition about how we can compete peacefully, but about negotiation about power, there's no debate about it. Do you see some fruits coming out of the dialogue?
I don't want to sound skeptical, but if the president is the one who is talking about competing peacefully, when he's ordering for, beatings and is patting the backs of people that execute innocent Ugandans extrajudicially, then that should really be put to question. In my opinion, and I was reading about the dialogue and noting that $1 billion shillings is put together just to have people talk about what has been talked about numerous times.
So there's no need for dialogue.
We have good laws. Let's follow them. Let's first begin by respecting each other, respecting the rule of law, respecting the laws and resolutions that have been reached. Other than that, it will be talk, and only talk. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I continue to appreciate you so much for keeping it at Rico TV. My name is Mordecai Muriisa Martin Jr. We have Honorable Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu, the Chadon East Member of Parliament, who is with us right about now. Well, like I told you in the beginning, that he has other engagements. He's going to be leaving us and to attend to other things. And I truly appreciate you so much that you are keeping your eyes on us. Well, Honorable,
yes,
I truly appreciate you so much for
coming.
It
was a pleasure chilling with you, and I apologize that I had to leave much earlier. Otherwise I would have loved to engage.
I understand. I hope we get you another time.
Most definitely, man. You're in my neighborhood. You're in Kamocha.
Yeah, true.
So I'll salute everybody and send greetings to all my friends, especially those down in the ghetto. Big up, live up, and never give up. Cheers.
Well, we truly appreciate you. We are going to take a short commercial break, but then I remind you, it is the People's Agenda that happens to be on the screen every Wednesday, 10 to 11 p.m. Now let's take a short commercial break. When we return. I appreciate you so much that you're keeping your eyes on Record TV. It is still the People's Agenda show that happens to be on your screen every Wednesday, 10 to 11 p.m. And my name is Mordecai Muriisa Martin Jr., your host. And you've seen, you've heard from the man himself, that is Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu, the Chad Dondo East Member of Parliament, who was telling us about the political climate and the image that is being portrayed across the entire globe when it comes to the beautiful Pearl of Africa, or called 256. Now is Bobi Wine. Well, for many of you actually who sent us questions on our social media platforms, more especially Facebook, your questions have been answered, and I'm just guessing that you really liked it, or you are now contented because almost every answer has been given to you. Now someone said, yes, Martin Jr., Chechiro bro, my question is, if the Almighty allows him to sit in the chair, what's that is going to work upon first, as for us not to lose hope in him? Then he said, it's not about me. There could be another person. If we can have 1,000 or 100 Bobi Wines, it is not about an individual. That is what he said in as far as the question of if he becomes president, or if he's going to become a president. The time is now. Is he ready for the first chair? That's the question that he told you. No, it is not about him. It is about the whole Ugandans. First of all, realize that you have that power and you can do it. Then another person said, when he's here to run for presidency, can he teach his supporters to support him in silence, like me, to avoid serious beatings from Banyaru? Then let them avoid processions. Then he said, it is very heartbreaking when we have such kind of incidents, because we have laws that actually gives us the authority to do whatsoever we can do. If it is about campaigning in public, there's no problem with that. That's what he said. So you got your answer. Then is he willing to compete with a pass? That's the question that I never asked, because I do not understand, because that is a bit of comedy actually about the post that was made by a pass on his Facebook page about running for presidency. At the same time, then came Joe Steady at the same time saying, Sobola Kubale Kedera, I'm coming to be your president. Of course, making fun out of the presidency chair. Well, or seat. I just want to assure him that he has my vote. Whether his name appears on the ballot paper or not, I will still vote in favor of him. That is Breezy Brand Brenda on Facebook, and the other one was Insenga Jackson, Kaya Wumal, at the same time Sentongo C, Godfrey Ozil. Then Robert Maweji said waiting. Those were 4 hours ago, and now he waited really. and of course a lot of things. Well, we truly appreciate you. So there are a lot of things that actually have been commented, have been posted, or comments that have been sent on our social media platforms. We truly tell you that we are just getting started on the reinvention program. When you say to reinvent is our brand, we are just getting started. I remind you again, we are situated in Kamoja, Plot 47 Chila Road, where we say to reinvent is our brand. Come and say hello. We have a lot of things in store for you. And of course, when you say that you are coming, our reception is extremely ready to welcome you and of course have a handshake and take you through a number of things that we do. My name is Mordecai Muriisa Martin Jr. You will allow me call it a day and appreciate you for moving with us. Let's make sure that we keep our eyes and our bond since 2006 to now of Record TV. I wish you a blessed night and may God bless you.